Okay, we're over here doing some Python programming, some basic stuff to get you started, some small programs. In this particular one here, what we're going to be doing is just kind of putting together some things that we already know. And I don't know, I guess I'll just sketch it out down here. Basically, it's going to ask us for how many integers are we going to be inserting. Doing some calculations on. So we may say, okay, 4 integers, and then it'll ask us for data for. So we'll have some data here that we'll insert in that it'll ask us, and then on the output here, it's going to end up spitting out all of our data, and then underneath it, it's going to sum it up. So this is a little bit different than some other problems that we did where we actually inserted the data actually into the program. This one's going to ask us as we go, so we may not know what the data is, and it'll ask us for it. So the best thing for me to do here is just go ahead and well, I'd say go ahead and run the program, but we're going to need to type it out, I guess, first. So all right, I'll put a little comment here. So we're going to be finding we're going to be finding the average of n integers, because we don't know how many integers there are, so we'll just say there's n of them, and then we will store that data, store that I think I put it in a list, I'm trying to remember, store that list. Okay, anyway, so the first thing we'll need to do is create a list. We'll create an empty list where a container where we're going to store our data, and then of course we'll have a variable that we'll initialize that as 0, and that'll be the one where we sum up our data as we go. Alright, and let's start with a print statement that will output a question here, or a comment, I guess. We are going to find the average of n integers. Integers, I spell that right. Alright, and now we'll assign n the each integer, and of course we'll have to convert it back to an integer. This will be an input statement here. You've done this before in some previous videos, I think. Let's see. So first off, we'll start off with how many. We'll ask a question. How many integers are we going to be summing up? And we'll be tweaking that because at some point in time we won't actually know how many integers there are. Okay, and that'll be like the second part to this tutorial here on that. Okay, we're going to need to count the number of integers. I don't know, do I need to? Yeah, I guess so. So C is it, we'll assign 1 to that. Let's see here. We're going to use a while statement. Now we could use a for loop, I believe. Yeah, we could use a for loop, but we'll go ahead and use a while statement on this. So in the previous video, in tutorial 10, I showed you how to use a while statement in place of a for loop, a while loop, for loop, whatever you want to call it there. Okay. Alright, ints of I, we'll call it ints of I, integer input. We'll have to convert this to a string, and what this is just shows us where we're at on the data points. I guess you'll see it here. Let's see, insert integer, insert integer. Okay, so this is where it's asking us to insert the integer. We're going to go ahead and assignment here, we're going to sum this stuff up as we go. Okay. And then this one here, we're going to be, let's see, we're going to need to do this, append. We're going to be, I guess we don't need to do this, but we're going to do it anyway because we're going to be storing that data actually in a list. Storing the data in a list. We're going to go ahead and count as we go there. Okay, so that could be the written like this up here, right? C is equal to C plus 1, but I'm just going to go ahead and write it like that, okay, because I don't normally do that, but I think really that's what everybody pretty much does, is this right here. I'm like old school. Okay, alright, so we'll need to print out our what we found. So the sum is, let's see, we'll have to convert that to a string because it'll be a numeric value. Alright, and then we'll skip a line. We'll want to skip a line. And what were we doing? We were finding the average, weren't we? Okay. So, I forgot what we were doing here. AV average is, alright, str. We'll have to convert that to a string since we're concatenating it with a string. So we take the sum and we divide it by n, right? N is the number of data points that we have collected. Okay. Okay. We don't need this. This is in the program right here. You know, I tell you what, we don't really have to have this right here, but the reason it's in here, what we're going to do here is at the bottom, we're going to print. We're going to do something a little extra here. We're going to go ahead and just print out that list, okay, so showing that we can store that in a list, store our data as we go in a list. And the reason for that is because we might want to, we're going to use this guy right here, this method for the list, and it's count. So I don't know, we might want to count the number of threes that are in the list. Alright, I'm just doing this, you know, this is a little bit something of a bonus right here. Alright, and it's something we're going to touch on here a little bit later, so I thought I would just go ahead and add that to this. Okay, so this is really not necessary. It's just kind of an extra thing going on here I thought I would throw in. Alright, and I believe that's it, so let's go ahead and run. Hopefully everything runs okay here. Okay, so it asks us how many, let's see, we're going to find the average. Can you read all that? Probably not. Alright, how many integers? Let's say 4. Okay, so insert, so this number 1 right here, as you can see, is the first integer. So we'll say 1, 2, 3, and we'll put 2 3s in there. And of course, we have bad operand. Okay, so there must be some kind of error here. Great. Oh, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. No. Oh, I see it. It's right there. Okay, do we have time to run this? We are running out of time. Alright. Okay. So here it is. Here's the list. There's 2 3s. Average is 2.25, and the sum is 9. So there you go. Pretty simple. All right. So in the next video, we're not going to know how many integers there are, and so go ahead and keep your same code here, and because we're going to use it. All right. So we're over here at Python. See you later. Bye.